Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 295. Yes, I was supposed to bring this news show to you from Vietnam, but I just happened to get this done before I have to leave. I literally have to leave right after this recording. So let's get to it. The German car industry is collapsing and is happening right in front of our eyes. But many people still don't believe it. And Top Gear made a review of the Model Y performance and they thought it was very good, actually class leading. And a new test shows that Tesla Model Y is still humiliating rivals in Europe. And the Gigafactory Berlin hit a new milestone, and Stellantis shows some more red flags, and we have some breakthrough in energy generation. And a lithium deposit large enough to make batteries for 1 billion EVs was found in Germany. All of this and much more in today's episode. Start right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
The German car industry is collapsing and is happening right in front of our eyes, but many people still don't believe it. So firstly, AJ shared, how could the German lose the largest auto market? Volkswagen Group sales in China have decreased by 46% over the past 4 years. So basically, it had been cut in half in 4 years. Now that is a collapse if I have ever seen one. And people think it is Tesla that has a demand problem in China, where Tesla has grown about 30% in China in the same period. Some people are just very misinformed. Volkswagen has $1.5 billion less profit and 50% lower margins in 2025, as Alex shared. The Volkswagen Group expects its annual operating profit to be around 5.1 billion euros, lower than expected. The operating margin was reversed downwards from 4 to 5% to 2 to 3%. Volkswagen reported in August a drop in profit of more than 30% in the first half of 2025. In 2024 financial year, Volkswagen earned a net profit of 12.4 billion euros, almost 31% less than in the previous year, and it is getting worse. And AJ also shared that BMW in the same period are down 32%, and Mercedes is down 30%. BMW's China sales have decreased for 6 consecutive quarters and decreased to a 7-year second quarter low. But BMW has also had some bad recalls lately, as they sent out a warning to customers, as Alex reported. BMW warning: since theoretically your BMW delivered could catch fire at any time, their owners should only park their vehicles outdoor and not in a garage or near buildings. The company has to recall several 100,000 vehicles worldwide due to defect starters and the resulting fire hazard. In Germany, 136,500 cars are affected by the recall, and in the US just under 195,000 units. So that will probably not help their sinking sales. But the collapsing sales of the German auto industry in China is really not the impression you will get if you listen to mainstream media. Then you would think Tesla is the only one collapsing and Germans are doing great. But the truth is, they are collapsing right in front of our eyes, as Alex also shared. The German auto industry has lost over 50,000 jobs in the last 12 months, which correspond to a reduction in the industry of about 7%. 4.5% of the German GDP depends on the auto industry, and every bit that is lost won't come back because the required innovation and speed of technology transformation doesn't exist to catch up. It is a key industry that keeps many other industries alive, therefore the true GDP impact is much bigger. Even worse, this is just the beginning, because right after the transformation to BEV, a new technological revolution is emerging with the introduction of fully autonomous vehicles, and not a single German manufacturer is prepared for the impact. While usable BEVs are sold by German manufacturers too, there are no realistic plans for manufacturers to even begin to understand what will happen when customers can satisfy their mobility needs with little to none of their personal time investment for a fraction of the cost. They can't imagine that autonomous vehicles will make money for ordinary people because they would need to ask themselves why anybody would still want to buy a vehicle that doesn't have the capability to drive autonomously. The business model of the German automotive industry and almost all traditional car manufacturers worldwide is dead. And although they can still ride the dead horse a little longer to earn some money until the inevitable happens, the horse will one day collapse beneath them and take them with it. But by then it will be too late. Yes, no one of the legacy automakers are ready for the next wave of disruption that is coming their way. Autonomous vehicles. They are not even earning money on making EVs yet and will soon be knocked out by a new wave they have no countermove against. And Top Gear made a review of the Tesla refreshed Model Y performance and they thought it was very good. Actually, class leading.
But do you know what? Driving this car around on a beautiful twisty road, and it is really, really good. In fact, I'd go so far as to say this is class leading. The suspension just rounds off the bumps, so you don't get knocked offline. The steering is accurate, little bit dead. And it's very, very quick. You never quite get past the fact that this is quite a heavy car. So if you're braking into a corner and you're going downhill, you really do feel the weight. But for what it is absolutely magical. And I'll tell you, whoever has done the NVH on this car with the acoustic glass and the sound deadening, it's like, you know when you get off an aeroplane and your ears don't pop, or you've gone slightly deaf? That's what this car sounds like. It's so well insulated. And the fact it's got 21-inch wheels and it rides like it does. I mean, I know these roads are very smooth, but this is a Model Y, for God's sake, on a hairpin bend. And look at the acceleration out the corner. And I'm not scared of it. It's got loads of grip. It's got loads of tactility. And it just feels a little bit heavy, really. I mean, this is quick stuff. And it doesn't even sound it. This is supposed to be a family SUV, and it's got the performance, basically, of a serious sports car. I think the problem I've got with the Model Y performance is the point of it.
Yes, the problem Top Gear had with the car is that the normal version of the Model Y is already so good that the extra 10,000 on top of it might not be worth it. They would prefer the normal version and save the money. But there is, of course, a lot of people that want a faster car because it's just a lot of fun. But yes, like I said in my review of the Model 3 refresh, the standard version of the car is just so good and so good value for money that you don't really need more than that. But many people, of course, have range anxiety with EVs, so most will probably bump up for the long range. But the standard range was about the same range as my old 2019 Tesla Model 3 long range. And I have been all over Europe in that car on road trips without any problems, so you don't really need more. So I completely get Top Gear's point, but of course Tesla has to have a performance version or it just wouldn't feel right. But nice to hear even Top Gear's automotive experts think that the Model Y is class leading. The car that just started deliveries in a new market in India, as Tesla also shared on X, all smiles for the new Model Y owners. Welcome to the family. Yes, it's going to be very exciting to see how Tesla does in India over the next year with their expensive EVs in this upcoming market. But in China, Tesla's Model Y was still the best-selling electric SUV in August, beating out BYD. So even though BYD is still the king in China with overall EV sales, they don't have a model that sells as many units as the Tesla Model Y. In the SUV segment, we can see that the runner-up to the Tesla Model Y is BYD's Sea Lion with 25,000 units against Tesla's Model Y with almost 40,000 units. So the race is not even close. And if we look at all EVs, we can see just how well Tesla's Model Y is actually doing. Because this is the top leaderboard of EVs in China in August. And here we can see not just units, but also the price of the car. And as you can see, the Tesla Model Y sets itself apart from all the others. As Brian White also wrote on X, it's worth remembering that Tesla's profit margins on the Model Y in China is more than the entire cost of the Wuling Mini EV. Yeah, and still the Tesla Model Y outsold it in August. So people saying that Tesla is not doing well in China are simply not getting it. Yes, Tesla is down because of the refreshed Model Y, but is still the dominating force in the EV space. Nothing really comes close. Just as you can still see in the US as well. This is August sales numbers of BEVs. If someone can please point me in the direction of the competition, because I still can't find them. Because the next 4 here on the list combined don't even beat Tesla. But Teslarati also shared a new test done by What Car magazine, and it also showed that Tesla Model Y is still humiliating rivals in Europe. BYD is seeing a lot of momentum in Europe, so much so that mainstream media has taken every opportunity to argue that the Chinese automaker has beaten Tesla in the region. But while BYD sales in this year in Europe are rising and Tesla's registration remain challenged, the raw capability of the vehicles like the Model Y are difficult to deny. This was highlighted in a 500-mile challenge by What Car magazine, which showed that the new Tesla Model Y is more efficient, cheaper to run, and more reliable than rivals like the BYD C-Line 7 and even the nearly 400 kilowatt charging MG IM6. On paper, BYD C-Line 7 and the MG promised standout capabilities against the Tesla Model Y. The C-Line 7 had more estimated range and IM6 promised significant faster charging. When faced with real-world conditions, however, it was still the Model Y that proved superior. During the 500-mile test, the BYD nearly failed to reach the charging stop, arriving with less range than its display projected, as noted in Car Up report. MG fared better, but its charging speed never reached its promised nearly 400 kilowatt charging speed. Tesla's Model Y, by comparison, managed energy calculation precisely and arrived at each stop without issues. Tesla leads in areas that matters. Charging time from 25 to 30% showed that the MG was the fastest at 17 minutes, while Tesla and BYD was close with 28 and 29 minutes respectively. Overall efficiency and cost told a different story, however. The Tesla Model Y consumed 19.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, compared to 22.2 for the MG and 23.9 for BYD. Over the full trip, Tesla's charging cost totaled just £82, thanks to its supercharging network, far below BYD's £130 and MG's £119. What Cars magazine testers concluded that despite BYD's rapid sales growth and MG's IM6 seriously impressive charging speed, Tesla remains the more compelling real-world choice. The Model Y just offers stability, efficiency, and proven charging infrastructure through its supercharging network. And as per the magazine's host, the Model Y is even the cheapest car to own among the three that were tested. But Michael Dawn also gave some insight to what is the weakness and strengths from the Chinese automakers. So the weakness are skinny profits, how to fund R&D, cutting corners to compete on speed and price, long-term reliability still unproven. And their strength is 1. Scale, 2. Speed and agility, 3. Proximity to abundant tech supply chain, 4. Global supplier transplant best in class, 5. Cost, 6. Much improved design, 7. Software digital experience. But we also have some recalls from Xiaomi, as 1/3 of the SU7 sedan that they have sold have been recalled due to smart driver feature defect. When level 2 highway steering support is enabled, some vehicles may lack recognition, warning, or handling in extreme special circumstances. Xiaomi will provide free software upgrades via over-the-air technology to address the safety concerns, according to the announcement. So nice to see that Xiaomi is able to fix it with an over-the-air update. But even though China is coming fast, they still have a few flaws in their foundation. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Sendil from Tesla wrote on X sharing the news that the Giga Berlin that they have built their 100,000th new refreshed Model Y. So that's very cool. But as he wrote, I was able to visit Giga Berlin last month and witness what the plant can do now that it is really stretching its legs. The factory was originally configured to build the structural battery pack Model Y, reorientated itself toward the now legacy design, and then once again the new Model Y, including performance variants. Quality, cost and volume achieving records as we leverage the talent of the entire team there alongside the learnings from the past several years. Yes, Berlin is still ramping up as fast as they can, while most legacy automakers are backtracking and holding EV production, firing employees and closing plants. But don't forget, it is Tesla that has a demand problem. And Pete took his mate out for a drive to test a full self-driving supervised, but the whole car and the experience just sold him completely on the whole car itself.
Honestly, the only thing I'd be not apprehensive, I don't know what the word is, but like if I was going down south, but you've already debunked that.
Well, I've gone around Australia with it.
You've gone around Australia with it.
So,
you've already, I heard you speaking to Suyen, there's charges everywhere. Like, seriously, I want it yesterday.
All right.
That's a killer.
Done. I think you're sold.
Yeah, I am. I totally am, mate. Really. I am. And
I wasn't actually trying to sell you. I'm just enthusiastic about the car.
I just want to go for a drive. I just want to see how the self-driving is, but like the whole experience is just like blow me away. Yeah. Seriously, I want it yesterday.
Yes, when people experience a Tesla, especially with Tesla's full self-driving supervised for the first time, there is just no going back to a normal EV. And we had more red flags from Stellantis as AJ reported. Stellantis departing CFO leaves before the first year is complete. Not a good sign. And Nick also shared this cool video, and as he wrote, pretty cool Model X executive seating modification in China. Now that looks very cool. And according to a certification from the MIIT, Tesla is preparing minor updates for both the Model 3 and Y in China. The change won't involve significant exterior redesign, especially since the new Model Y was recently launched. The update primarily focuses on refining certain configuration details. For the 3, the facelift is expected to include a new front blind spot camera and black Tesla logo with minimal other changes. For the Model Y, the update will standardize the screen size to the 16-inch, slightly larger than the current version. This screen configuration is already used in the current launch of the Model Y L and the performance variants. Additionally, the Model Y is expected to introduce new seat leg rest to enhance seating comfort, like it is also in the Model Y and the performance as well, but no other significant changes are anticipated. And Tesla wrote on X, in less than 2 weeks, owners have traveled 1 million kilometers on full self-driving supervised in Australia and New Zealand. That is roughly 67 laps around Australia or 625 trips from Auckland to Invercargill. Yes, seems like the Aussies are really enjoying full self-driving. And Michael Dawn wrote on X, Chinese automakers doubled their European market share over the past 12 months to 5.5% despite tariffs. Spain and the UK see dramatic gains. Germany is holding tough so far. So it's not just Tesla that is having trouble in Germany. So does the Chinese. But this is market share of the entire market, just to be clear, not just BEVs. As in the BEV market, the Chinese already have over 11% market share. So yes, the Chinese are coming and there is no stopping them. And AJ shared on X, wow, a lithium deposit large enough to make batteries for 1 billion EVs was found in Germany. According to Neptune Energy, the deposit is located in Altmark region in northern Saxony, Anhalt, Germany. The deposit reportedly amount to 43 million tons of lithium carbonate equivalent and would be one of the largest thus far found. Based on standard industry estimates, an average electric vehicle battery required about 8 kilos of lithium metal. Lithium carbonate equivalent contains approximately 19% lithium by weight, so 43 million metric tons of LCE provides roughly 8.1 million metric tons of lithium metals. This amount of lithium is sufficient to produce batteries for approximately 1.01 billion EVs. Note that the figure could vary based on battery chemistry, vehicle type, and average battery size, of course. Larger SUV might require up to 11 kilos of lithium, while smaller sedan and plug-in hybrid could use as little as 4 to 5 kilos. But no matter what, a whole lot of lithium has been found. So just as Tesla said in their shareholder meeting in 2023, the more we look, the more we find. Oh yes, indeed. And Ollie shared this post and wrote, "A Tesla owner left me this comment. Tesla is bringing mobility back to the elderly." And the post wrote, "We're in our 70s. Diminishing eyesight, slowing reflexes, and enhanced anxiety anticipating having to drive. Traded our 23 Outback Touring for the 26 Model Y long range with full self-driving. Love it. We live in the ever-busy and ever-changing Las Vegas Henderson Valley. Hardly ever have to intercede. This is the new lease on life for us. Can't wait for version 14 to make it even better. Thanks, Elon." Yes, full self-driving is going to get so much demand when more and more people realizes this. And Waymo is once again out on a detour. This time it is crashing a golf course. Or maybe Waymo is just testing out the I-Pace as an autonomous golf cart. I mean, holy shit, if this has been Tesla, Dan O'Clown and all the mainstream media outlet would have been all over this news, burning Tesla alive. But when it's Waymo, they are weirdly very quiet. And speaking of autonomous vehicles, Franz von Holzhausen said that the Robovan's ride fare will cost 10 or 20 cents per mile. For the people that maybe don't have the wherewithal, the ability to afford transportation now, this gets them, rather than, bus stop to bus stop, this gets them closer to their destination, closer to their pickup spot, and just frees up transport for unprivileged folks. I think it's really going to revolutionize transportation, and that's, one of our goals. And in this podcast, Franz also confirmed that Tesla's robotaxi service is coming to LA soon. Nice. And even though we see Waymos do some funny stuff now and then, their robotaxis are still way safer than a human, as Bradford wrote on X. Human drivers kill 38,000 Americans every year. Waymo driver just proved they can cut crashes by 91%. The choice should be obvious. Yes, there might be people who say they will never get into a robotaxi, but the numbers shows a different story. As you can also see on this chart, driverless taxis uses in California has grown 8-fold in just 1 year. And over the next year, I am willing to bet we will get another 10-fold at least, as Tesla has entered the picture. And the chairman of National Media Office in the United Arab Emirates met with Elon Musk at Tesla's engineering headquarters in Palo Alto in California. They checked out the Gold Optimus robot. Yes, the future is looking very exciting. And Michael Dawn also shared some numbers from China. BEV captured strong momentum in China market. January to August sales, BEVs 6.2 million, up 46%. Plug-in hybrids 3.5 million, up 23%. Total for fiscal year 2025, 13.8 million estimated. Yes, the biggest car market on the planet is going electric fast. And Google will now offer X posts directly on its discovery feed. Nice, no denying where the most news appears. And the Boring Company wrote, "No crosswalk, no problem." The Boring Company completed a 500-feet pedestrian tunnel connecting SpaceX to Hyperloop Plaza in Bastrop, Texas. The tunnel provides a faster and safer alternative for pedestrians to cross the heavily trafficked FM 1209. Nice. And Dave shared, "I had to triple check this because I didn't believe it. All the world's discovered reserves of fossil fuel equals the same energy as just 5 days of sunlight hitting the Earth. Solar power is basically unlimited." Yes, we are only utilizing a very small percentage of the sunlight that is hitting Earth so far. But one thing that will help the transition to renewable energy is batteries. But as you can see here on this chart, as battery prices have fallen, installations have taken off like a rocket. And Tesla is one of the biggest players in this growing market that is taking off. But Europe is also building a sun on Earth, as Next EU wrote on X. As the EU sets a new world record for fusion, as France kept the fusion reactor running for 22 minutes. This might not sound like a lot, but I remember when it was 7 seconds. And some big news here in Europe, as Tesla vehicles will be allowed to change lane on the highway without driver intervention in Europe. Enhanced autopilot, as UNECE has approved a system-initiated maneuvers, or SIM. This might not seem like much for you Americans, but this is the first step to get full self-driving supervised approved in countries that follows the UNECE's regulations. So a big step forward, and yes, this is huge news for us Europeans. Finally, after 6 years with full self-driving in my Tesla Model 3, it will be able to overtake on the highway by itself. Like Connecting the Dot also wrote, this might deserve a test lab. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest supporters of this channel. My new YouTube members, Marcus Grims and Rob Schrittner. And my new Patreon producer, Steve and Rita Kempf. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. If you don't know why we need autonomous vehicles, well, here is just a little illustration of just how bad some humans are at driving. That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel, or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheets also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.